as you're doing that work as a hospice chaplain back in, I want to say back in the day, it was just a few years back. Um, what was something that really stood out to you about, how they've lived their lives, and maybe like the things they were most proud of, and maybe the things they regret the most? Like, was there like a trend that kind of came out as you were, at bedside to bedside?
There is, Jerry. I think there's way too many of us that get to the end and we've got these regrets. And I just know after doing that work for a long time, that's not the life, God really intended us to have. He created us and hardwired us with these components to know that we're loved and to live really fulfilled lives. And the interesting thing is that he created us in this paradise existence. And we know the story of Adam and Eve. We know they kind of wrecked the plan, right? And
Yeah.
we got kicked out of the garden. But God never went back and reorganized our internal equipment, our internal components. So what blows me away is that all of the design features that we need and have for living great lives, they're still exactly where God installed them.
Hmm.
And it's kind of up to us to dust those off and plug them back in and bring those lives God intended back online. And that's probably the biggest theme I've seen, at the bedside, is those folks that, you know, either missed that in their lives and kind of had those regrets. And so it's nice, even in the final hours, to say, you know what, there's that equipment is still there and
Yeah.
you still, had a wonderful life. And so that's probably the biggest lesson, I think.
Yeah. What are some of those equipment pieces that we are kind of wired with?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now you're talking my language. So I like to talk about spark plugs because I really think our internal equipment is hardwired in a way where our good words are our spark plugs.
Mm.
They really are. And you see the effects of them in our lives. Like you pay someone a compliment and their cheeks flush red, or you say something really positive and you can tell their posture kind of straightens up. They feel good, or something funny that makes you laugh. I think those good words are almost this electricity that makes us move in life, kind of the way we are. Like the electricity is there, it's flowing, and it's really powerful. And when we connect with it, we see the effects of it. It's invisible, but you can see the effects in people's lives and in our own lives. And to me, those good words are those little spark plug moments of electricity that move us forward
Yeah.
in life and get us maybe even out of our stuck places in life.
Yeah. And there's a lot of research around like leadership, like when you give positive comments and positive reinforcement to the behaviors you want to see, as opposed to always pointing out the things you don't want to see. People are wanting to get that dopamine fix that comes from the compliment that comes their way, and they want more of it. So they will do more of the thing you said. Hey, Tom, thank you for getting that report done in the right format and to me at 1 o'clock, because that gave me time to get ready for this 2 o'clock meeting, and we all looked like heroes. Now, Tom is always going to
Totally.
get that report to me by 1 o'clock and
Right.
is probably going to go above and beyond to make sure that not only is the data in the format you want, but now you've got notes, like Tom's notes on the side of what all these things really mean. So now he's scripting you with like the easy button in a way. And then you just keep complimenting Tom over and over and over again. And he's just going to keep doing it over and over again because he wants to get more of that. And so when you say that we're wired that way. Like we are not just
Right.
spiritually wired that way, we are physically wired that way too. So it's just really neat to hear spark
Yeah.
plugs being that piece of equipment. What's another piece of equipment that's in us that, we're just waiting to activate?
I those spark plugs kind of work both ways in our equipment, because certainly our good words move us forward. But what I've found sitting at the bedside of folks that are dealing with things at the end of their lives is the bad words really held us back.
Oh yeah.
And in a lot of cases, Jerry, it's one or two bad words. It's I'm. They usually start with the not. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. It's amazing how many of us get to the end of our story and we're still holding on to those couple of bad word statements. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to if you take that not out, it leaves us with this powerful piece of equipment, I think, that functions. Take not out, and all of a sudden you are smart enough, you're talented enough, we're beautiful enough. And I think that's what God intended. I don't think not was in
Yeah.
our initial hardwiring.